Hello everybody, how is it going? So, today, more preliminary tournament. It's Gecko Moria, here's his hand. I don't know, the one cost at Mills, Perona, Sabo, Great Eruption, Ice Age. Okay. And he is against a Katakuri. We'll probably see their hand in just a second. Here we go. Tenmom, Gadatsu, Sanji, Okiku, and Beji. So this is OP06 format. It's a preliminary tournament. I believe the venue is Tokyo. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Most of the tournaments, the preliminary tournaments, are in OP06 format now, so that's just what we're going to be covering. I understand, you know, we're still pretty recently into OP05, but, you know, I still like going over these. It gives you preparation for next format. Yeah. Also, first off, before I forget, Happy New Year's, everybody. 2024, we made it another year. That's awesome. I hope you guys are doing great. I want to do my absolute best to daily upload this year. Yeah, but I am in a little bit of a predicament, I'm not gonna lie. If I can be real with you guys, this format has not been the most fun for me. I'm trying, but yeah, it's not been the best. By the way, Gecko starts off by paying 1, milling 5. I think hitting Absolom, which is a pretty good target, so can't complain at that. Katakuri just going 5, Gecko takes, plays a Sparrow, passes. But yeah, I gotta be real. I haven't been having the most fun in this format. I know red isn't good, and people are just gonna say, "Oh, you're not having fun because Law isn't one of the best decks." And well, personally, yeah, that is partially, you know, a part of it. But it's also just, I don't know, the playing against Sakazuki, I don't find super fun. Just how you end up winning those matches feels super weird. It's like a lot of decks win because let's just, like, you know, Katakuri wins because of just 10 momming, and you know, Sakazuki doesn't have efficient answers for 10 mom, plus her on play effect is just ridiculous. So yeah, get to 10 Dawn, play a 10 drop, and you'll probably win. Or, you know, with Law, most of your wins end up just becoming because of Rush Luffy, and they don't have the counter power to deal with, you know, just unblockable swings. Same thing for, like, Zoro with, like, the Rush deck. Anel can win normally, mostly, but there is also a lot of luck involved with just Anel having triggers and, you know, how much top end you see and stuff like that. You know, Yamato not being searchable is a little bit impactful there, I'd say. But, you know, you do have other searchable targets. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this format isn't that fun, at least to me. You know, I'd want to play Corazon, but I just feel playing into, like, all the, except yellow, like, playing into Luffy, I swear they always have 2 Magellans. Playing into Sakazuki, they always have 2 Lucchis. It's like, I don't know, it's just, like, doesn't feel that fun. I feel like my opponent just has it, and then I can't recover. So, maybe I'm just bad. That's possible, too. But yeah, I'm gonna just try to thug it out this format. We'll see. I'm excited for Uta, the, you know, mono green Uta. So yeah, that'll be cool, hopefully. But yeah, I guess going back a bit to the match, Gecko cheated out at Perona on his turn, and then Katakuri just swung for 7, played the Okiku, and also attacked with the Sparrow. Okay, we're all caught up. Right now, Gecko's swinging 5 with the Perona. But yeah, I'm not saying all that just to say, like, oh, you know, this format sucks, I'm gonna stop playing. No, I'm still gonna keep playing. I love this game. This game is a lot of fun. It's just yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably partially just that I just don't want to play Sakazuki. I'd probably have more fun if I'm just playing the best deck and I just learn all the matchups on the best deck, but I just don't want to do that. I don't really like the character. I don't really like how the deck plays, so yeah. Those are my thoughts. Take it at what you will, but I'm not trying to bash the game or bash the, you know, the people that enjoy playing Sakazuki or whatever. That's just how I feel right now in the game state. That's all. But yeah, back to the game. Gecko is on 6 Dawn. He can leader effect, or he can play like a Sabo, or he can play Lucci, but I don't think he has the most setup for Lucci. Also, KOing the Okiku feels a little bit bad because they'll heal 1, so we'll see what he ends up doing. Plays Helmeppo, reduces something by 3. I'm gonna say, I don't know. I don't know what he hit, actually. He's committing to leader, using 7 Dawn, or 4 Dawn there. 2 on leader, 2 to actually use leader effect. So it kind of looks like he played Helmeppo for fun. I'm not exactly sure why he did that, because he didn't end up popping either of them. Maybe just wants to have it engrave, but he could have just discarded it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why the Helmeppo is there. Maybe just to go a bit wider, you know, spend 2 Dawn attack with Helmeppo. Sure, I guess. Interesting, interesting. Katakuri does take the 7k swing. Back to the Katakuri's turn. I feel like this is also partially another reason why Katakuri does pretty well into, you know, the black matchup, is that, especially in this format, they have Okiku, which floats them into a life. Pearl floats them into, you know, another card. They just have annoying bodies that when they're removed, they do something, which is pretty strong. But on 7 Dawn, I don't see a 7 drop, so that probably won't be the play. Maybe Pudding, and then just get really aggressive with your remaining characters. They don't have a blocker right now, so it's a decent turn to do so. Plays down the Pudding. Looks at top 4. Let's see. Finds the 7 Mom, but you know, they're on the odd curve, so they're not going to have the remaining Dawn to actually play the 7 Mom. But I guess next turn, because you know, next turn you're at 9, not 10, so that could be decent. And I think we just do a whole lot of swings, either to Perona or just face. Depends how much you respect the Perona. Because the rest of your hand is just 2Ks. The spell that makes you both eat a life. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Top end. Goes 5 at presumably. I'd expect you're going for the Perona, just because you don't want, you know, you want to try to get rid of some of your opponent's board. Don't want to leave him with a whole bunch of attackers. Goes 1 Dawn on Okiku. Okay, that clears the Perona. I don't know, you could just spend a whole bunch of Dawn swinging big. Looks like she's just going to go 7. Looking at her own life. Veggie, that's going on the bottom. That card's kind of good. Gecko will take the 7k. And, tapping. No, you played. Okay. A little bit of a misplay there, probably. Forgot she played the Pudding this turn. That's okay, though. Play the removal spell for fun. I mean, it's not the worst. You could just KO the. What's his name? Look, I think was his name. Not the worst. You could also just say you both take a life for fun. That's how the card actually works. It might be that you're at 1 life when you can do that. I'm not exactly sure. Nope, just passing. That's fair. Spending the removal spell on the Look. Okay, I was gonna say I just said the name and I just forgot it, but yeah, spending it on that feels a little bit bad. Now Gecko, this is his 8 Dawn turn. Could just hard play, you know, the 8 drop. So you have some decent targets. He at least has Perona, and he should still have an Absalom in there. Has the Lucci. If he has decent setup for the Lucci, he could do that, but he doesn't have a spare Dawn for like the Great Eruption or Ice Age if he actually wants to play Gecko this turn. Could also just play it like, play the Sabo and then just leader effect. That could be a play too. Going 5 at the Sparrow, I assume. Gonna be met with a Veggie. So he is kind of splitting his Dawn, like 3/5, so I'm gonna say that's the move. Goes 1 Dawn on leader. Swinging for 6 at one of their bodies, not sure which one. Discarding a Look, milling a Look and a Cerberus. And looks like Perona is gonna be the target there. Yep. Making them discard a card, and then they'll have to discard another if they want to defend whatever body he is swinging at. She does have a 2k, so no matter kind of what it's swinging at, it can be met with that. And now it's probably just the Sabo. Yep. So whole board is protected. And what did he draw into? Looks like another Sabo. And did he already? No, I don't think he already had the Lucci. Okay, discarding a Absalom and the Lucci, and passing. So this is Katakuri's 9 Dawn turn. It doesn't, I mean, has the 7 Mom, which isn't bad. Has another 7 Mom, so it's probably just play the 7 Mom and then attack. Pretty straightforward turn, I'd say. Unless we're just trying to only attack this turn, but that just sounds bad. We're still at 3 life, we're pretty safe. The board isn't super threatening yet, it's just like 2 5Ks and Sabo. So, should be okay. Has 2 Dawn to spare to actually swing into the board. So can swing even with like the 6K Sabo. But looks like they're just going 5. Probably at the ear look. And it will go. So maybe just like 2 7s at life and then play 7 Mom. If one of them goes through, you kind of have to play 7 Mom before swinging with the other though, because if not, they'll just eat both of them and then, you know, 7 Mom won't do anything. So yep, going 1 Dawn on Okiku, attacking for 7. I imagine one of these attacks are going to be taken just because we only have 3k worth of counter power in hand. To be fair, we could block with Sabo 2k, but then if they just go 7 at life again, it'll just be eaten. So yeah, just taking the first one, seeing what you find. Finds a Gecko, playing the 7 Mom. Curious what, yeah, I was going to say, you probably have to heal them. Can't really go down to 0. I don't know, maybe you could just go down to 0 though, honestly. Like, you know you can easily defend the 7k from Katakuri with just the Sabo and a 2k. It might have been better. Just because next turn they're on 10 Dawn, and then your last life gets trashed anyway, right? So kind of weird. And yeah, he does defense to 7k. And she'll just pass. Gecko is now on 10 Dawn. Still has the option to play down, you know, the 8 drop. Has I think his graveyard does have a bunch of decent targets. You might really want Helmeppo in there just for the, you know, the combo, but it's kind of been stuck on board. Unless he's milled a Helmeppo, that's possible too. Not sure. He's gonna check real quick. Do we see a Helmeppo? I think that, was there one? I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to tell, it's just the side of the cards. It might not have been, it might not have been. But if we don't Gecko, what are we doing this turn? Saboing again? Rebecca? I don't know, this place seemed kind of meh. Feels like we're just playing to, you know, not die rather than try to win, so I feel like we want to get this Gecko down and, you know, just do our best. See how it goes. We have a bunch of blockers. Gecko can always summon out a blocker. But 5 at the Parasparrow. Looks like she whiffed off the search, which is unfortunate. Good for the Gecko, though. It kind of sucks that, like, I mean, Gecko is a super strong card, but he's on 8 Dawn. If he was a 7 Dawn card, and then you could also leader effect that turn, that'd be crazy. But obviously that probably would be just too strong. I think Gecko in himself for an 8 drop is really, really strong. Summoning 2-act from graveyard is just nuts, honestly. Yeah, at least it could get like a blocker, and then the 2 drop can just be like a brand new. So the card replaces itself, and you get a 9k body and a blocker. So yeah, that in itself is very, very good. But swinging 5 with leader at leader, she will take that. Maybe has a trigger here. Thunderbolt. I know, it was a veggie. So we know, I think it was either the last life or the second to last life now, because I know she put another card on the bottom. So there's at least one veggie in those last 2 life, which is pretty good. Veggie does win games. No gap. Let's see, if he's just trying to clear the board, how does he play this? He can Ice Age the Big Mom. And then that would let Lucci pop Big Mom and Pudding, but the Okiku survives, but I think that's just how it's going to have to be. You don't really have a route. You don't have leader swing to -1. I don't know, I think Gecko is like kind of way cooler than Sakuzuki, honestly. I think just playing off your graveyard is always cool. And I think any game, honestly. I love having resources in graveyard. I think it's a cool mechanic. Coming from Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm sure a lot of people would at least understand that. Maybe not agree with it, but it's cool. But replacing the Helmeppo and the 1-drop, playing down the Cerberus and Lucci. Lucci will shuffle back probably some events and pop the Big Mom and the Pudding, leaving him with just 2 attacks. So, well, we should be fine next turn. We have 1 life, 1 blocker. Big Mom will trash our last life, but then you just have to defend a 6 and a 5k, so should be living at least, but I don't know. After that Big Mom comes down, it's going to be hard. Just because you now have to deal with a 12k body. Your opponent's going to be back on 4 life. You're going to be on none. You kind of need to play a blocker every turn. So it's going to be tough. I can't lie. I think it's interesting how I feel like last format Law kind of gate kept yellow from being so strong, but now it's like blue black Sakazuki and other black decks kind of gatekeep Law, so Law isn't as present to gatekeep Katakuri, and now Katakuri's kind of there to beat the black decks. It's interesting. There's always some sort of triangle in these formats. Why isn't Law in ours? I do think that's interesting. Yellow is very strong, and it seems like Katakuri just, all the new yellow cards always just seem to work with Katakuri, and I think that's just because he's such a generic leader. You know, just has a very strong effect for a deck that runs so many triggers. It just makes sense, and has access to Big Mom, which is probably the best, you know, top end in the game. So yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Me personally, I do think NL is more fun to play because cycling your life is cool and healing a whole bunch is cool, but yeah, that's just me. That's just me. Is hovering over the spell that trashes a life, you're swinging into what, 2 blockers? That's risky to go for. I feel like if you 10 mom, how bad of a spot are you in? You put him down to 0, you're at 4. You get to swing 2, like a 6 at life, or just try to, you know, clear the Perona. That works too. And then they have what, 2 attackers in the Lucci and the Moria. They probably need, unless the Cerberus survives, then they need to keep Sabo up kind of. Okay, but she's playing the card where they both just take a life. Gecko does get a 2k, which is pretty good. Now she can go just double 9s. Yeah, it goes 9 with Okiku. He does he have the counter for this? No, he doesn't have the counter for this. So this is actually just game. Wait, that's crazy. That's hilarious. Yep, 9 again. Because he only has 4k worth of counter power. Yeah, that's just game. What an ending. Good call on her. I would have just played 10 mom. But yeah, that's cool. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Let me think. Not really. I don't know. I'm gonna try to record more locals. I'm gonna try to record a whole locals instead of just one game. It was pretty crowded at the anniversary tournament, so I didn't want to. I don't know. You know, the camera takes up a little bit of space, and if we're all sitting at one table, it's a little bit hard. But yeah, next locals, I'll probably just play Core Zone, and we'll have some fun, hopefully. And I'll try to get all those games. But anyways, yeah, I mean, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.